As we get closer to polling day in Karnataka, the Congress seems to be attempting to polarize the polity by resorting to incomprehensible virtue signaling. Now, what am I talking about? Let me explain to you, viewers. Today in its manifesto, as you just heard Madhav a short while back, today in its manifesto, the Congress sought to draw some sort of a parallel between banned terrorist organization, the PFI, and the Bajrang Dal. Now, viewers, you know that recently the PFI was banned by the center for being a terror organization, for being an organization that was promoting Islamist hate throughout the country. The Congress clearly wants to call out Islamist separatism. There's nothing wrong in that. It's actually a good thing, but not without doing a hypocritical balancing act, it would appear, by dredging up Hindu extremism. Look at this self-serving sort of parallel. The visuals on your screens speak for themselves. What do you see, viewers? On the extreme left, the Bajrang Dal is being compared to the PFI that wears its bigotry on its sleeve and in full public glare. I mean, look at those pictures. In 2021 in Malappuram, in 2011 rather, in Malappuram, look what it does. It parades members of the RSS in chains. It is assaulting them, it is whipping them, it is doing all sorts of very provocative things on camera for you to see. Worse, viewers, you look in the middle of your screens, there are pictures, and where are these pictures from? These pictures, viewers, are from Bengaluru itself. In these pictures, what do you see? You see the house of, ironically, a Congress former MLA being targeted. He was with the Congress party, now he's been denied a ticket by the Congress because he blew the whistle on the PFI. So, viewers, you see this parallel being drawn in the face of evidence that seems to suggest that it's not really the Bajrang Dal that we need to be focusing on, but it is the PFI that needs to be unequivocally condemned. Viewers, tonight it might be putting the PFI and Bajrang Dal on the same plane, but strangely the Congress has never ever moved court to call for a ban on the Hindu group. So it says that, oh, the Bajrang Dal is a hate group, it's promoting hate and we must ban it. But in all the states that it has governments, whether it's Rajasthan or even in the past, in Maharashtra, for example, it has never ever called for a ban. It's never moved the courts. It's never gone and even filed an FIR that could set the basis. Never petitioned the center. But first look at what the Congress has said in its manifesto, and let's read it to you so that you get a better sense. Now, here is what it says, viewers, and this is very important for you to basically get a grasp of, because it will tell you exactly how the Congress framed this linkage. It says the Congress is committed against organizations spreading hatred, constitution violated by organizations like the Bajrang Dal, the PFI. So immediately, viewers, there is a parallel that is being drawn. Bajrang Dal, PFI is spreading enmity and hate among majority or minority community. Again, there is a direct linkage being drawn. Organizations like Bajrang Dal, PFI promoting enmity, we will take decisive action, including imposing a ban. This is what the Congress manifesto says, and viewers, today it has become the biggest talking point in Karnataka and across the country. It's the #1 trend amongst talking points on Twitter. Now, viewers, the Congress is linking the Bajrang Dal to the PFI, but it doesn't want to tell you how it has courted the PFI in the past. And its NI-designated political front, the SDPI. So the SDPI means the political party. There is a huge overlap between the cadre of the PFI, which is banned, and the SDPI. But the Congress has courted the SDPI. It has a problem against the Bajrang Dal. Here is the first fact check for you. In Rajasthan, under the Gehlot government, the PFI was allowed a march in Rajasthan's Kota, viewers. So in Rajasthan, the PFI is not worthy of a ban. The Congress says it must march, it is allowed to do whatever it wants to do to express some amount of dissent against the government, against the BJP. Rahul Gandhi offered help to a person who is linked to the PFI, promised aid to arrested PFI Siddiqui Kappan's kin. So viewers, when it came to Siddiq Kappan, the Congress party had no problem extending help to his kin. In 2020 Bantwal municipal polls, Karnataka, SDPI voted for Congress candidate elected as president and vice president. The Congress had no problems accepting this help. Viewers, look at the next. You have the next issue, Tiruvalla municipal polls in Kerala. The UDF Congress led received support of SDPI. Again, their viewers, no problems, not a squeak from the Congress party, accepted that offer of support. Violence, burning Congress MLA's house. DJ Halli in Karnataka 2020, I told you, PFI hand in riots that razed the home of Congress MLA A.S. Murthy. Despite this, A.S. Murthy denied a ticket for 2023 state polls. In 2019, a secret meeting in Kerala filmed, caught on camera. Congress ally IUML had a secret meeting with SDPI members. In 2018, Karnataka Assembly polls, SDPI claimed it withdrew 25 candidates to favor the Congress. The Congress never said no. Do not do that for us. We don't want the support of a sectarian extremist organization. No problems. And these are all words that I haven't used. It's the NIA, viewers, that is used in terms of describing this particular organization, the SDPI. So it's not Rahul Shivshankar. Please be completely divested of that notion. There are several other instances, viewers, when these equations have been drawn. Gujarat 2017 elections, SDPI gave logical support to Congress ally Jignesh Mewani in 2015 ahead of Karnataka polls. Then Karnataka Congress government dropped 175 cases against the PFI. Cadres blocked and booked for rioting in different parts of the state. No problems, viewers. Naturally, Prime Minister didn't lose even a moment in seizing upon the opportunity to tear into the Congress for drawing this false equivocation. Listen to what the Prime Minister said.
कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को थाने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है। पहले प्रभु श्री राम को ताले में बंद किया और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताले में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया है। यह देश का दुर्भाग्य है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी को प्रभु श्री राम से भी तकलीफ होती थी और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों से भी तकलीफ हो रही है।
कांग्रेस का इतिहास आतंक और आतंकवादियों के तुष्टीकरण का है। जब दिल्ली में बाटला हाउस एनकाउंटर हुआ तो कांग्रेस की सबसे बड़ी नेता की आंखों में आतंकियों के मर जाने की खबर सुनकर आंसू आ गए थे। जब सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक हुए, जब एयर स्ट्राइक हुई तो कांग्रेस ने देश की सेनाओं के सामर्थ्य पर ही सवाल खड़ा कर दिया।
देखिए, कांग्रेस सालों से एपीसमेंट की पॉलिटिक्स कर रही है। पहले उन्होंने सालों तक भगवान श्री राम को ताले में रखा और अब उनको बजरंग बली के नाम से भी परहेज है। मुझे लगता है कर्नाटक की जनता इसका जरूर जवाब देगी।
So does the Congress exhibit, viewers, a bias as the Prime Minister and the Home Minister seem to be suggesting? Well, here are some hard facts and you can judge for yourselves. Now, what was the fact? Abbas Siddiqui of the ISF, viewers, he said behead those who put Quran in Durga Puja Pandal. He called for an extrajudicial measure. The Congress backed the left ISF alliance in 2021 Bengal polls. Remember that? Sectarian group that has an outlook such as this, but the Congress backs it. DMK openly backs for the release of Rajiv killer Perarivalan. After Perarivalan's release, CM Stalin embraces him. The Congress shares power in Tamil Nadu with the DMK. Beyond a couple of platitudinous or run-of-the-mill criticisms, the Congress didn't say much more. Sanjay Raut said voting rights of Muslims should be taken away. But viewers, the so-called secular Congress and the NCP had allied with Uddhav Sena back then in time, as you know, in 2015. Come what may, I will never join hands with the AIUDF, which is a sectarian organization from Assam, a political party led by Badruddin Ajmal. This is what Tarun Gogoi had said, then Chief Minister in 2016. Yet the Congress allied with the AIUDF in 2021 for the Assam polls. The trial court Batla House encounter was genuine. It was deemed genuine by the court's viewers. The trial court said so. But Salman Khurshid, senior leader, came out and said that Sonia wept bitterly and that, viewers, the Batla House encounter, other Congress leaders said was fake. It was an attempt to persecute and prosecute Muslims. Now, all of this is not to say, viewers, it's not my brief that the Bajrang Dal is totally above communal polarization. There are some examples of when the Bajrang Dal itself has crossed the line. 2023 Bengaluru, 6 Bajrang Dal leaders were booked where they tried to moral police, vandalize an event. In April 2023, Jahangirpuri violence, communal clash after VHP Bajrang Dal's rally. Bajrang Dal was booked for rally without permission. There are many instances. April 2023, again Jahangirpuri violence, VHP leader Prem Sharma named as accused in a riot. In Jan 2023, Faridabad, Bajrang Dal workers tear posters of film Pathan. 9 Bajrang Dal workers were booked. There are several other examples, and those examples are there on your screens. But let's ask some basic questions tonight, viewers, because these questions will open us up to the heart of the debate. And I want to begin first with Sanjay Jha of the Congress. And I want to begin with you, Sanjay Jha. Fine. You have a position against the PFI and the Bajrang Dal. But why not exercise, walk the talk, so to speak, Sanjay Jha? The Congress is in power in Rajasthan. It's been in power in Karnataka. It was in power in Maharashtra. Can you show me one example of when the Congress wrote to the center asking for a ban on the Bajrang Dal? When it moved court seeking a ban on the Bajrang Dal, I want to ask you, apart from drawing a false equivalence to, I hate to use this word, equivocate, draw some sort of a moral relativism. Why? Because it wants to also appease the Muslims. It doesn't want to take a position on PFI, and when it does, it must take it in conjunction by drawing the example of the Bajrang Dal.
Rahul, very quickly, since you mentioned hard facts, I have some hard facts with me, and I would like to answer you because you have, spoken at length and put this discussion in perspective. I can see who the other panelists are, and therefore I would expect you to not interrupt me as I make my case. Are we in agreement on that, Rahul? Because I wouldn't like to be interrupted when I speak.
Yeah, go ahead, please, Sanjay Jha. I don't interrupt anybody. Go ahead, you know
fair
this.
Fair enough. So let me put
You won't answer the question. You'll probably attack the media. You'll attack somebody else, but that's fine. I'll let you have your 2 minutes uninterrupted. Go ahead.
All right.
You won't answer my question. I know that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm assuming I can go ahead. The first and foremost, the 40% commission government and the 100% communal party is going to be booted out of Karnataka very soon. And no matter how hard they try, it's going to be exposed in a very short while. Now, let me answer your question on the Bajrang Dal and the PFI issue. I think the Congress has checkmated the BJP completely. I heard a very desperate Narendra Modi today campaigning, and I'll tell you why the Congress has hit the nail on the head. And here are my 6 points, and let's discuss them during the program. I would like to come back later on. Number one, Dhruv Saxena, Bajrang Dal member, worked for the ISI, anti-India. He was an agent of the ISI, number one. And Mr. Modi has the audacity to tell the people of Karnataka, whom the BJP has insulted over the last 5 years, this is about Bajrang Bali. Number two, Ram Navami violence that has happened recently. There are many examples, but I'll give you the example of the state I come from because I found the facts. In Bihar Sharif, there are Bajrang Dal members arrested, FIRs against them for provoking communal violence. I think if anybody needs to apologize to the people of India, it's Narendra Modi and the BJP for actually diminishing our gods by equating them to a violent outfit like Bajrang Dal. Point number three, the CIA in its document a few years ago called the VHP and the Bajrang Dal as militant religious outfits. By the way, I think Mr. Modi's government agrees with it because they could do nothing to make the US State Department or the CIA change their mind. Number four, recently lynchings in Rajasthan. A man called Monu Manesar arrested, a Bajrang Dal member. Ladies and gentlemen who are watching the show, this is the Bajrang Dal, the true face of a very vicious entity. Number five, Graham Staines murder in Odisha. Murdered actually in a van, burnt with a family. Who was responsible? Once again, the Bajrang Dal. Let me quote you another one. Babu Bajrangi, Gujarat riots made the most violent.
I've already quoted these examples. What's the point you're
making? No,
making?
you did not mention these six. I'm mentioning them, Rahul. I can tell you, if your viewers, in a very dispassionate fashion, have heard this, they will know that the BJP is now playing the most crude, cunning communal game in a state where they're headed for a rout and nothing is going to work. They stand exposed today. I think the Congress, okay. Rahul, and you'll agree with me, you have been critical of the PF. The Congress hasn't supported it. But when you said today that, the Congress has a problem with
why?
Hindu,
the question is, why didn't the Congress support it? If the Congress is so... Excuse me, Sanjay Jha, look, I have no problems. The Congress party drawing any links. They say, okay, the PFI, ban it, this, that, the other. Why does the Congress muster this sort of courage to put it in a manifesto? And when it does, it suddenly realizes that we can't let it go one-sided because, you see, our Muslim vote bank will become disproportionately alienated. So let's also bung in the name of the Bajrang Dal. Now I'm asking you, they were in power in Karnataka. In fact, we also have Sanjay Jha, the Congress party is represented from Karnataka. Let me ask him, because he's on the ground there. Now, in Karnataka, sir, Mr. Siddaramaiah had his government for all those years. You went about freeing PFI members from jail. Did you not, sir? I have the example here before me. Why? If it was such a dangerous organization, the SDPI, which is supposed to be, and the NI is designated as such as the face of the PFI, as the political arm of the PFI, then why did you release these people? Number one. Number two, why didn't you ban the PFI in your state, sir? Can you explain to me, despite the fact that PFI members actually attacked a Congress MLA at his home and burnt it down, and I've shown you the pictures?
Mr. Rahul, good evening. Though we are here to discuss about the manifesto of the Congress, there are so many promises made by the Congress. Conspicuously, the BJP government, Mr. Modi, and certain section of the media is concentrating on only one term, that is Bajrang Dal. That is important, how they are working. They're leaving apart all of the promises which have been made by Congress in its manifesto. They're concentrating.
Sir, you made that promise. The public is free to ask you questions about those promises. If you didn't want the conversation around that issue, why did you put it in your manifesto? If a particular channel or a particular anchor decides to debate it, what is the issue? And let me ask you, sir, second point. Are you saying, Mr. Yanagi, and this is a very important question, that, no, hang on, that security of citizens doesn't matter, that communal violence is a non-issue? If it is a non-issue, why was Rahul Gandhi taking out a 3,000 or 6,000 kilometer, whatever it was, long Bharat Jodo Yatra? He was talking about communalism and the threat from it. If it wasn't an important issue, if the media is talking, out of context about issues, cherry picking, then why did Rahul Gandhi make that entire so-called unifying march? Was he wasting the nation's time? Should he not have been talking about the only one issue that you want to talk about, which is unemployment? No, please, you answer. But be, sir, don't always shoot the messenger. You get into a bad habit.
One minute. It only shows BJP's political bankruptcy and ideological bankruptcy. When the Congress makes a manifesto, prepares it and says that for it the agenda is of the development, focuses on the development, whoever is coming in the way of...
Sir, when the BJP announced yesterday, the UCC, it announced, no, hang on, and it announced a promise. No, please, we were here yesterday. Now, Mr. Yanagi, please, look.
No, please.
Again, you're wasting the precious time of my viewer.
Opinion in the society.
Okay, one second. Let me open this up. Let me open this up. Viewers, I told you, I began by saying on this show, I have no problem if a political party decides, excuse me, Mr. Yanagi, if a political party decides that that is one of the electoral planks it wants to take to the people, which is building communal harmony in society, and for that banning various groups. My point is the hypocrisy of it. The same political party does political deals with such groups. Then it promises in the manifesto that, oh, these groups should be banned. Who is it kidding? Who is it fooling? And let me also tell you, viewers, one of the reasons I didn't take the Graham Staines example that Sanjay Jha raised was because he's actually factually wrong on that. Let me tell you, viewers, Dara Singh, the man who murdered Graham Staines, many alleged was part of the Bajrang Dal. But many have said that he was linked to the Bajrang Dal. But the CBI, which investigated the case in 2003, was reported to have told the court he wasn't part of the Bajrang Dal. As for Babu Bajrangi, he had a prior association with the Bajrang Dal, but he was known to have left the organization later on. So, viewers, many people left the PFI and joined the SDPI.
I'll check you on that.
We know this. And the Congress party has no problem taking support of the SDPI. Who are we kidding here? Let me bring in the BJP and let me put those questions. The Bajrang Dal, Sanju Verma, is not actually something that is angelic. We know that it has had a history of being booked for cases under communal violence provisions of the law, and therefore, why today is the BJP coming out in defense of the Bajrang Dal? Straight question to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Rahul. And just like the other panelists were given an uninterrupted say, I'm sure that courtesy will be extended to me. Thank you. Let's start with some hard facts. And I always say this to you on your show, particularly since you care about facts so much. There has to be a sense of proportion. Sanjay Jha actually shot himself on the foot by giving that Dhruv Saxena example. Graham Staines, you've already called out Sanjay Jha's bluff on that count. You talk about one Dhruv Saxena. Please, Sanjay Jha, hold your horses. Don't heckle me, learn to listen. So let's be very clear. You talk about one Dhruv Saxena. I'm not here sitting and condoning the actions of Dhruv Saxena. I will condemn every action of arson or violence or communal, communally inflammatory statements by Bajrang Dal, what have you. Having said that, let me make it very clear. The United Nations no less says that not 8, 9 out of top 10 terror organizations in the world have a radical Islamist DNA. Right from Jamaat Dawa, Jaish-e-Mohammed, Boko Haram, Lashkar-e-Toiba, ISIS, what have you, the list is endless. But Sanjay Jha will refuse to believe the United Nations because it does not suit his narrative. But one Dhruv Saxena is somebody he would like to focus on. Chup ho jao, maine aapko heckle nahi kiya, chup ho jao.
Yeah, don't interrupt, Sanjay Jha, that's not fair. She never opened her mouth, and that's not fair. I
will expose you.
Look, please.
I will expose you now.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you, Sonia Gandhi, after the Batla House encounter in 2008, she shed copious tears, not for the martyr Mohan Chand Sharma, who was killed, our braveheart, but for whom? For Indian Mujahideen. Point number 1. Thank God, though I'm very sorry to say that Tukaram Omble lost his life while capturing Ajmal Kasab live in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attack. I shudder to think, if Ajmal Kasab had not been captured alive, if Tukaram Omble had not gotten martyred while doing this brave deed, 26/11 RSS की साजिश है, BJP की साजिश है, is an example of Hindutva terror. Would not have been a mere narrative it would have been written in golden letters, painting the entire RSS, BJP, Bajrang Dal combined as terror outfits. Point number 3, right from giving the permission last April to the PFI to conduct a unity march in Rajasthan by a Congress government Ashok Gehlot, to tying up with the SDPI, which is an offshoot of the PFI, not just in local body Karnataka elections, but in assembly elections as well. The Congress has not painted itself in glory. You are far from flattering when it comes to your track record, and I'll tell you why in 20 seconds. Be it the Hashimpura riots of 1987, be it the Bhagalpur riots of 1989, please, I will just finish in 20 seconds, Rahul. Be it the Aligarh riots of 2006, be it the Dhule riots of 2008, be it the Deganga riots in Bengal in 2010, be it the Bharatpur riots of 2011, be it the Kokar riots in Assam in 2012, be it the 2013 Muzaffarnagar riots, not to mention the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, and not to mention the anti-Sikh pogrom of 1984. If there is one party which has blood on its hands, not metaphorically, but literally speaking, it is the Congress party. So Sanjay Jha,
but Sanju Verma, quick counter question to you.
Stop giving
Sanju Verma, quick
BJP.
counter question. 1 second. Quick counter question. As per an RTI reply, between July 2019 and April 2023, when the BJP was in power in Karnataka, 7 separate orders were issued by the Karnataka government to drop prosecution in 385 cases, including 182 cases of hate speech, cow vigilantism, and communal violence. Around 1,000 accused benefited from this. All of this was reported in the Indian Express. The Indian Express then filed this RTI application. So you go after the Congress for withdrawing cases against the PFI in 2015. How are you different? It's a very sharp, quick question. I want to open this out to Abhijit Iyer Mitra also. And once again to Sanjay Jha, and then also bring in the senior editor of the Swarajya magazine, Tushar Gupta. So yes, ma'am. Quick response to my question, please.
Rahul, since you've quoted the Indian Express, I think the Hindustan Times is no less when it comes to credibility. Please go and check a report from August 2022, which said that in the years preceding August 2022, right from 2017 onwards, 1,967 cases have been registered by the NIA where charge sheets have been filed, not just FIRs, and most of them are coming to fruition with the NIA having a strike rate of more than 94% in terms of nailing those who actually are involved in communally inflammatory actions. Gustakhe Rasool ki ek hi saza, sar tan se juda. That is Bajrang Dal, that is RSS, that is the BJP. I have never seen Sanjay Jha sitting here and saying, Sir tan se juda is a condemnable call. He sits here and gives a tali and applauds these people
let me open
under
this
the
up.
garb of secularism.
Abhijit Iyer Mitra, also senior fellow of the IPCS, is with us. Abhijit Iyer Mitra, we are obviously in the midst of a heated debate, and obviously I've come to you in about 25 minutes, but I want to make use of this time. You have great perspective on this. Let me just give you a quick synopsis of what the Congress Manifesto said today, which has become a national talking point. It says, quote, the Congress party is committed to taking firm and decisive action against individuals and organizations spreading hatred amongst communities on the grounds of caste or religion, unquote. And then it says, we believe that law and constitution is sacrosanct and cannot be violated by individuals and organizations like Bajrang Dal, PFI, and others promoting enmity or hatred, and so forth. Has the Congress walked the talk on its manifesto promise? Can we take it at face value? Or A, is it drawing a false equivalence to cover up for the fact that it doesn't want to unilaterally call out, singularly call out Muslim extremism, Islamist extremism, sorry, not Muslim, but Islamist extremism. And secondly, most importantly, it has never practiced what it preaches, and therefore today is sounding a bit hypocritical and deliberately playing a communal card.
Thanks for having me on, Rahul. See, the news flash for the Congress is the PFI has already been banned. So you see, they were trying to target the Bajrang Dal, but trying to draw this false equivalence. Have you noticed everything that they need to condemn when it happens to a Hindu, they have to bring in a false equivalence saying we will also do this. But all condemnations of attacks on Muslims are always standalone condemnations with Congress. You know, I used to be a hardcore Congress voter at one point of time. I come from a family of Congress voters. And today I am in a state where, I actually thank the Bajrang Dal for all its excesses. The Bajrang Dal is the first and last line of defense for me against the kind of communal mobs that the Congress pretends does not exist. Do you remember in 2020 when a Hindu temple was burnt in Bangalore? They all wanted to highlight all the Muslim youth, very kind of them to form a human chain outside, but they didn't want to highlight the fact that the arsonists were also Muslims. Right? So this is becoming a repeat pattern, and the thing is, everybody is now able to see through it. We are a police deficit state, we are a governance deficit state. And in these instances, unfortunately, there is a very significant street veto that happens. The more violent you are, the more initiative you take. So basically what the Congress has done, because remember their alliance in Karnataka is called Ahinda, which is, which is Kannada for Muslims, OBCs and Dalits. Now, the Muslims here are particularly important because you look at everything that they've been doing. They've been glorifying people like Tipu Sultan, who goes to a place like Melakote and massacres Brahmins out there. They want to celebrate Tipu Sultan Jayanti. That is like me going to Germany and saying, me going to Israel and saying we should have Hitler Jayanti out there. They have a long history of doing this, you see. But I just want to come to one very important point that Sanjay Jha raised about this guy who was caught working for the ISI in the Bajrang Dal. You see, in 2018, there was an ISI spy caught working in Air Force headquarters. Just last year in May 2022, there were two people caught in the Air Force. Air Force people caught spying for the ISI. Does that mean the Indian Air Force has become the Pakistan Air Force? Obviously not. Who is the ISI going to spy on? They're going to spy on the people that they're most worried about, that can cause them and their interests the most damage. So the fellow coming, that a Bajrang Dal fellow turned out to be an ISI chap, is the biggest tribute to the Bajrang Dal, because it shows you that the ISI is scared the living daylights out of, because the Bajrang Dal is the only one that can threaten them that way.
Tushar Gupta, a straight question to you. What is happening here? Who's actually playing with communal fire in the state of Karnataka? Assessment and an honest one.
You know, Rahul, it's become second nature of the Congress to snatch a defeat from the jaws of potential victory. I wouldn't say a certain victory. But what the Congress is trying to attempt here is what they have been doing since 2008, when they first proposed to ban the VHP and the Bajrang Dal. Now, we all know that in 2611 attacks, Congress's Prime Minister and the party at large got cold feet when it came to responding to Pakistan. But their ministers were happy going about book launches which said 26/11 RSS ki sajish. That is the Congress psychology for you. The Congress, if they had to ban Bajrang Dal or PFI, they would have done it. They had their 10 years to ban it. They would have done it. They would not. They will never do it. They were in Karnataka. They were in power. They would have recognized the law and order issues. Today, they come on television shows. They carry out their Bharat Jodo Yatras. They talk about social harmony. But they were also in power in Karnataka for 2 years. They did absolutely nothing about the deteriorating law and order. Rahul, it has become second nature of the Congress to draw a false equivalence. Every time they have to criticize radicalization in Islam, they will draw a false equivalence with some Hindu organization. So when it is about the PFI, which Abhijit pointed out correctly, has already been banned, they will, no, Sanjay Jha, hold on. Sanjay Jha, hold on. Hard data is also that Congress could not respond to Pakistan after 2611. Can you refute that the Congress did not respond after 2611?
Refute it.
Can you refute that the Congress did not respond after 2611?
Well, we're getting the drift here. We're getting the drift. Let's not speak over each other and shout. Please, that's not acceptable. Know everyone's leaders. Thank you very much. I just want to say, viewers, as I move on. One second. I need to move on. There's a very important story and a very important development that has taken place today in the state of Maharashtra, the neighboring state from Karnataka, with massive political implications going into 2024. But just before I exit this, I just want to say this, viewers. Judge political parties, as I began by saying, from not what they say, but how they act. And that's really what is critical here. When you go out to vote, hold them up to their manifestos, look at their manifestos and see if there is duplicity or hypocrisy undergirding their promises. And if it is, punish them.